Not paying attention. We are live. Hello, hello, everybody.
Hi.
Happy Monday. I see Marge is here. Can't see. We'll have to wait till the sun goes down farther. We'll be listening. Yeah. It's a little bright, especially if you've got all that snow and reflecting off the snow. Man. Hi, Glennis. Carrie's here with me today. Thank you, Carrie, for being here.
Of course.
And Carrie's going to lead us in our activity today. I'm very excited about it. I am going to try to do it. We do have a prize pack today. It has dies, stamps, embossing folder, and all kinds of other stuff. They're just getting packed full of all kinds of stuff. So if it is your first time here, if you're watching on a replay, you might want to try to join us live, because every time we do a live, we give away a prize pack, and you get in the drawing for the prize pack by doing a super chat at the bottom, down by where you would actually chat in the live. You can hit the $sign and do a super chat to support the channel, and every super chat, no matter how much it is, gets in the drawing at the end of the live for today's prize pack. We give that away live so that you can see who wins right here. The winner of the prize pack only needs to send shipping, $11.20 for the flat rate shipping. Hey, Melanie. Hello, hello. Uh-oh. It's buffering. It's buffering. I didn't even turn on my YouTube today, so I can't see what you see. Maybe I should do that when you get us started, just so I can see. But these prize packs sometimes are valued upwards of $100. There's all kinds of stuff in there. I pulled out so much more stuff. So all of these have at least one embossing folder and die set, stamp sets, all kinds of stuff in here, plus stuff we've made at Monday Jumpstart, supplies, new supplies, estate find supplies for junk journaling, all kinds of stuff. They are packed full. So I don't know why. They're getting bigger as we go. I'm getting more. There's more stuff to go. So they happen to be getting bigger and bigger as we go.
I have mine that I just got.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
And it is. Once you open it, it just kind of pops open.
Yeah. I try to smash it in there so I could get a lot of stuff in. Kind of pops. I remember putting a couple things specifically in there that I thought, oh, Carrie will like this, like the pink and green stuff. I know that you like those.
Yes.
Melanie's switching to Chrome. Hopefully that makes a difference. I'm going to see if my YouTube will come up. Do you have YouTube up that you're watching on the side?
Yeah, on my phone. I only use Chrome, and it always works for me.
And I think I need to get my light up just a little bit here. A little bit brighter. There we go. Very generous prize pack. Y'all want one. They are. And Margie has been very generous in often paying the shipping for people, which is, very generous. So the prize pack, the shipping, everything has been free. So I will keep the list going today of any super chats, and we'll do that drawing at the end of the live today. So if you were with us last week, you know that I had shoulder surgery this week. My right arm is in a sling. There it is. and I am kind of tethered here. My hand does move. I do have feeling back. I have to be very careful just what I do with my arm. But, Carrie agreed to be a guest artist today and lead us in a neurographic art painting, they call it, a neurographic painting. There are so many different variations of ways to do neurographic art. And this is a new one that Carrie had actually brought to my attention. So I thought that would be really fun to do. And she'd be the perfect person to lead us. So I'm going to let her take it away and get us started. And as we're going, we'll talk a little bit more about what neurographic art is and purpose and all that stuff, for those who maybe are not super familiar with it. But Carrie, tell them what they'll need if they want to play along with us today. What do they need to have in front of them?
Okay, so I have a pad of student grade watercolor paper. You can use anything that'll take water media, heavy cardstock, mixed media paper, just about anything like that. You need something to make a circle if you want to make a circle. I'm using a plate. You can do a circle, a square. You can do the whole sheet. You can do half a sheet, whatever you want to do. A Sharpie, watercolors, some paintbrushes, water.
I got a paintbrush. I got water. I got some watercolors.
Oil pastels.
Oil pastels. If you don't have oil pastels, maybe just crayons.
And
there you go.
Crayons.
And crayons.
I'm using both because they work just slightly different.
Okay.
If you don't have oil pastels, just use the crayons. If you don't have either,
I don't have any crayons. I need to get me some crayons.
go get some and do it later with us.
Cool.
Okay. Neurographic art. I found this form. Well, I used to doodle this way when I was a kid in school.
Oh.
It helped me listen to the lesson. So I would just doodle different patterns, sometimes same pattern over the whole sheet of paper, whatever. And then about 12 years ago, I found online a lot of people were doing this form of art, and they gave it different names and they used different patterns. And some people are very particular about their ownership rights. Nobody owns anything in this art. It's been out there for thousands of years. The ancient Egyptians used to do this with different things. So
you're talking about tangling and doodling and whatever people want to call it.
Some call it Zen Doodle. That's a trademark name. I don't ever use that name. I don't like it. I call it doodles or tangles or repetitive patterns. It goes by a lot of different names, and I don't even have a sketchbook handy to show you some of my other art. I didn't even think of that. But in a nutshell, it's you draw a major pattern on your paper, and you're divided into different pieces. You can do squares if you like. You can do all sorts of different types of shapes. And then in each one of those smaller shapes, you are doodling something, one repetitive pattern that fills the whole shape. So here is what I worked on.
Oh, cool.
And you can see that there in each shape, there's a specific pattern. And when you're working with crayons and oil pastels, they need to be very simple patterns.
Yeah.
When I do this in my doodle notebook, I use a pen, usually not always a fairly fine point pen, but yeah. And then you can make much more intricate designs when you're doing pen on paper. But with these crayons and oil pastels, it allows you the freedom to just make a bigger design. And whatever you can think of. I used hearts. I used ovals. I have used lines, curved lines and straight lines, and just different things. So when I was getting ready to do that, I just thought really quickly, what are some of the very simple patterns that I know that will work with this, with a larger crayon or oil pastel. So here are just some of the shapes. You can see a circle with lines, simple circles. These are spirals. You can do them tight. You can do them loose and big. Scallop designs, straight lines, vine, flowers, leaves, whatever you can think of. But those are some good ones to keep in mind.
Okay.
So, who's playing along? Is anybody playing along with me?
Becky, you came in just a few minutes ago. Are you going to play along? Just grab a piece of cardstock, heavy cardstock, or mixed media paper, or watercolor paper. Any of that will work. I grabbed a paper plate to make my circle. And this is what Carrie's going to lead us in today, is the neurographic art with the, starting with the circle. Hi, Sylvia. Glennis is playing along. Melanie, are you doing it along with us? She's
Melanie's familiar with tangling.
Got
Yeah,
it?
good. All right.
Along with this. Okay,
So
so
is everybody ready? You have your
yes.
things at hand? Okay, so what you do first is, since I'm going to be using a confined shape, I'm going to
Hi, Sarah.
conserve paper and put your plate down or whatever you're using for a template and draw around it with a Sharpie. And don't worry if you're using your dinner plates, alcohol will clean off whatever line you get on there from the Sharpie.
Yes, that is true. Sharpie is alcohol based. So hand sanitizer, alcohol will clean Sharpie off of almost anything.
Even soap and a scrubby will
True.
do it. I've gotten Sharpie off of a lot of things. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to section off inside your circle. So what I've done here is I've just kind of doodled a line, and I'll.
So are you doodling, or are you chasing a coin around, or a?
No, I'm not doing that.
Or a pebble, or okay.
I did it with the other one, and that's a lot of fun. I just couldn't find the right type of.
So I'll go back here, and while you're doing that, I'll do this so they can see. You could grab a crystal or a pebble or a button or a coin, you know, any size will work. And so you can either just randomly draw. And the whole idea of neurographic art is to get you out of the neural pathways that your brain is regularly in. So if your brain wants to keep doing the same pattern, you want to do something different than that. And so Carrie's able to, you know, let her brain just go draw whatever randomly. But if you keep drawing the same pattern, then you want to do something that's going to make your brain different. And so you always start at the edge and you end at the edge, and just take and chase your coin or your button or your pebble, whatever it is, around till it goes out the edge of your circle. Stop right there. I'll bring it back in and start it again and just chase it around. And this is causing you to have neurographic lines that are not your thinking pattern. Your brain isn't deciding where to put them. They're just going.
Right. And I have done this so much that I can just scribble a line.
Yeah.
And it works pretty well. So once you get your line, don't make too small of sections, because we are working with fat media. Those oil pastels are fat, and I don't sharpen mine. Some people do. I don't. And then
if you get the little tiny ones, we'll show you what to do with them when you get in there anyway.
Right. Once you get your lines drawn, then you want to go into each intersection and round it off. And this starts getting you into the zone.
So this is the part that sometimes confuses people. What is an intersection? Anywhere that two lines meet and you have a corner. So it could be a V shape, it could be an L shape, but anywhere you have two lines meet is an intersection, or two lines cross. They can meet or they can cross. And basically what Carrie's saying is you turn that L or that V into a U. It might be a big, fat, wide U. It might be a little tiny U, but you make it round, which is soft, as opposed to square corner.
And you can switch to a smaller marker if you like, or just keep to the bigger one.
Yeah, and as you do it, you can actually fatten your lines along the way. I like to make thicker lines as I do those corners, round those off, and then I make, thicker lines going through. Also helps me keep track of what I have done. Right. Hi, Juliet. Got you on the list for the super chat. Thank you for your support.
And I also, go around the outside edge too, where it meets the circle.
Yes. Because that's an L or a V where the one line comes into the other, it intersects. It may not cross over it, but it meets it.
And then color it in.
Yeah, make that soft. So once you start doing that, so Carrie mentioned that neurographic art was developed, I want to say it was like 2014, was a Russian psychologist. I wrote his name down because I always forget, Pavel Piskarev. And the idea is that, I mean, he's a psychologist, and so he, knows the neural pathways of the brain. Our neural pathways of the brain get stuck in the same ways that we do things over and over, and we think repetitive things, and get stuck in that way. And so neurographic art helps to, by softening these lines and doing something that is not our regular repetitive pattern, it helps our brain to get out, unstuck, I guess is a good word. Sorry, I've been on painkillers all week, and so if I'm not thinking completely clearly here, helps our brain to get unstuck from the patterns that we have had. And so it opens up creativity. If you just want to be more creative and you feel like you're kind of in a rut, doing this is really great for opening creativity. If you're struggling with a problem, emotional, psychological, physical, doesn't matter what it is, our neural pathways get stuck. We create neural pathways in the brain by our repetition. And so doing this helps our brain to think differently, to process, and to release pain, trouble, all those things, and find new ways to think about trouble. I'm stopping here for a second because, it looks like you're doing the same thing. I've got some little teeny tiny spots right here.
Well, some of them you want to leave open.
Like that.
Or if that's too small,
mm-hmm.
like this one here, there was one that was much too small. I just colored it in.
Yep. I was just going to say, you look like you're doing the same thing. This is little teeny tiny. I'm just going to color that in black.
So what I was going to say is this form of doodling and pattern drawing, repetitive, it's repetitive. And when I said it gets me in the zone, what I meant by that is it relaxes my brain. It lets my brain handle problems of the day. Yes. So I don't have to think about it. That's all subconscious. And it puts you in a state of hypnosis. It's basically self-hypnosis. And anything that's repetitive, something like knitting and crochet, where you don't have to think about every movement that you're making, it does the same thing. So all of this is neurographic art, basically. But what we're doing here, and what she was talking about, is this form of softening off the intersections. It looks like the neurons in your brain. Yes. And that's where the term neurographic art came in. I was doing this way before that. I was making rounded off corners when I was in high school, and that was way before 2014.
Right.
So, it's been around for a while.
He just gave it an official name.
Right. And it's just a way to classify it and understand what is so beneficial about it.
Right. She's absolutely right. So, yeah, opening up creativity, processing problems, relaxing your mind or your body. It's great dealing with anxiety. Sometimes you want to create something, but you just don't know what to create, or you're just feeling too, tied up in knots to figure something out. This is a really great piece of art to do. You can do it with colored pencils. You can do it with watercolor. Today we're using oil pastels. You can do it all in shades of one color, or all warms, all cools. You can do it in varieties of colors, all the different, colors of the rainbow. However you want to do it. It's really, that's the thing is, you have a pencil, you could sit down and do this. It doesn't require a bunch of specific tools. it is fun to try it with different things. You know, I've done it with this, so now let's try it with that. And we haven't done it live with the oil pastels, so that's a nice, a new, you know, avenue. But yeah, and it's interesting how it's kind of the same process every time, but I've got a bunch of them, and every time I do it, it's different.
Right, and you choose different colors to work with and different patterns, and it is
yeah. And you know, and you don't have to draw patterns inside of them like we're doing today with the oil pastels. Sometimes you just do this and then you color the sections with your whatever color implement you have. You know, it's just another variation. And so everyone turns out looking different. And you'll go along and you'll come along and go, oh, well, there's an intersection that I missed. So grab that one. I like darkening my lines as I go because it helps me make sure that I've got everything. Also, it's good for me. It makes a nice little border around each color component, and I like that. You may not like that. That's totally okay.
Plus, it helps to fix the line if you go outside the line.
That is true, which I am doing a lot right now.
Are you using your left hand?
I am actually using my right hand.
Wow.
I know. I'm pulling it into, my body's right up next to my desk, and I'm pulling it into my right hand. So I'm not moving my hand. I'm moving my palette.
Yeah. And that's the thing with this art. I find myself turning my work around to more easily reach the
whatever angles
section of the line I'm working on.
And that is totally okay. If I can keep my hand in one place, my shoulder doesn't hurt. I'll just move my palette around to accommodate that. You know, in a time like right now, healing from surgery where I can't do a whole lot, but I still feel like creating. It's the problem with sitting around watching lots of videos is I get lots of ideas and I want to get creating, but this is something that I can do without having to use those muscles or, you know, really get into moving around a lot.
And don't worry if your lines are messy. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to be adding more to it.
Yeah, good point. Those of you that have grandkids and you like to do art with them, especially grandkids that might be high strung or deal with ADHD or some of those things, have some stress in their own lives, this is a really good thing to sit down and do with them. I probably wouldn't give them maybe a Sharpie. It depends. But you can just do it with a black pen. And
Crayola super tips work good too, but not with watercolor. Just have color in with the Crayolas.
Do the Crayola super tip, and you do the always do this black portion first, and then just grab the crayons, and they can go back in and color in with the crayons. So you don't have to have a messy media. You don't need to do watercolor or, you know, oil pastel or something that's going to make a big mess with the grandkids. Use whatever they can handle according to their age. But it is easy for them to do. And
once you get, especially kids that are just learning to write, form letters, this is really good just to relax their hand, to get them doing something else that still requires control with their hand, but not such painstaking control. So what you want to do now is, if you're using both, which I'm going to be using, I'm going to start with the oil pastels, and I'm going to pick about a third of the spaces, and not all in one spot. It can be like all in one area, or
show them your round one again that you already did.
Hodgepodge.
Okay, so you're randomly picking some spaces to do the oil pastel in.
Right. This is oil pastel. That one is. This one is oil pastel. So about a third of the spaces use your oil pastels. In another third of the spaces, use crayon, and then leave some blank because we're going to go over top of that.
Okay. So I don't have crayons. I only have the oil pastels. So I'll probably do maybe half of my spaces.
Right. And here's where it can get interesting with picking your colors. You can pick the colors that you like.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick a bunch of random different colors if you like. But what I've done with these was I picked analogous colors. And analogous colors are those that are next to each other on the color wheel.
Okay.
So here I've used yellows, orange, and pinks.
Okay.
Pretty much. I added some purples because I like purple. And then with these, I've used some really yellowy greens, blues, teals, and some purple.
Okay.
If you want to, just pick 3. I think I've picked about 4.
So for your oil pastels, did you do the same colors that you're going to water paint over it, or opposite colors? Does it show better light against dark, or does it matter?
So I did, the watercolors were also the blues and greens here, and the watercolors here were also the pinks, purples, whatever.
Okay.
Orange, yellow.
And if you want to use all the colors of the rainbow, use all the colors of the rainbow.
Right. So I'm going to pick some blues. And for this first part with the oil pastels, you can pick really light colors.
Okay.
Because the oil in the oil pastels is really going to resist the watercolor. And I've been doing resist paintings for fun since I was a kid because it's just a blast.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick some blues, some greens. Let's see. And maybe a teal. So remembering the patterns you want to use, you can use lines and circles or squares or whatever you'd like.
Okay.
And just pick an area and just start. And I'm pressing fairly hard. I want to get a good line.
Okay.
And I'm
so
just
not worried about it being like
that.
Perfectly colored in and all of that.
No.
Just getting some wax down.
Yep. Just getting some wax down. Then I'm going to go to another area and maybe I'll do open circles in this one.
Y'all remember in kindergarten when we did some kind of wax resist with crayons? That's basically what we're doing.
Or at Easter time when you take that clear crayon. Yes. Yeah. Actually, when you do Easter egg dyeing with your kids or grandkids, save those little white crayons because they're perfect for this.
Yes.
Especially if you want to use do a wax resist painting that you can't see at all the wax part.
I grabbed a piece of deli paper because I tend to smear it all over the place.
Oh, good idea.
If I work from there to there, from outside to inside, then great. But if I move it around and I put my hand over the top of where I put oil pastel, I smear it all over the place. So
right.
The deli paper, once I put the oil pastel down, I put the deli paper over to put my hand on it, and I end up not smearing it.
Yeah, and I've done this so much that I turn my piece around. So I try not to smear it, but yeah, I have a piece of paper here that I will use for that very same purpose.
Just know I tend to be a mess in that arena. So
right. And you can try varying your line if you
Oh, did you just freeze, Carrie? Sounds like Carrie just froze. Give it a second. Hopefully she'll be right back. If not, she'll have to pop out and come back in. I'm just going to do some very simple Very simple things like circles, dots, polka dots. I did polka dots in that one. The sound. Yeah, I lost Carrie altogether. I think she froze. So we'll give her a second and see if it's if she gets back in. All right. I too chose greens and blues. Okay, we lost her completely. So she went out. She'll be right back in. And let me do some lines. So those of you who came in later, we do have a prize pack today. You've seen some of the super chats. I have Margie, Sylvia, and Juliet already in the super chat. Carrie's computer froze up. She'll be back in. We'll just give her a minute. We are giving away that prize pack at the end of today's live for every super chat. Every super chat gets in the drawing, so you see who wins live. And the winner only pays shipping. The prize pack is yours free. They are tending to get bigger and bigger as we go. They now have embossing folders, dies, and stamps in them, as well as all the other things that they've had all along. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff. And I'm happy to give them away. We get super chats supporting the channel. I am happy to give these prize packs away. All right, so let's see. I need to think of some more patterns. I could just do circles in all of them, I suppose, but I got circles. I've got some lines. How about I'll do some squares. So it looks like same kind of line, but once I get that down, then I'll come back here and go the opposite direction. There, we got Carrie back. Perfect.
Okay.
I'll come back here and go the opposite direction. Okay. There, we got Carrie back. Perfect.
Okay.
Here, opposite direction. Okay. Oh, we've got your YouTube picking up the sound.
Sorry, I had my phone on.
Yeah. Kind of had to get you back in.
My computer does this really fun thing. It's a laptop, and I bought it refurbished. And what it does is it'll just stop, just all stop.
Nice.
Yeah,
just randomly.
And then I have to restart it
at its own whim. It doesn't ask.
No, it just does it.
So yeah, if we were doodling with pen or pencil, we would do much more intricate designs. These are really, I don't know, they don't even feel like doodles. They're just basically putting some crayon in there, for the resist, because they are really large, and they have to be with oil pastels. Carrie, thank you for your super chat. Get you added to the list.
Woohoo! Okay, let's see.
So let's see. Do you want to hold yours up closer? We can see your patterns that you see. If we get... So she's got, okay, the circles. Some light elongated hearts. That's a good idea.
I was going for leaves, but
leaves. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know you had hearts on the other one, but these look elongated. So leaves, that's actually a really good idea. I think I should do maybe one more, maybe two more. Let's see. Sections here. I had really large sections on this one. Another thing, if you're going along with your black and you make, your black marker goes over here and you're like, oops, just keep extending it to the edge and create a whole new section. It's not a big deal. Or if you look at it and you say, well, that's a really large section. I don't want one that. I'd like more variety, more, sections to have different colors in. Just take and extend one of these down here and create another section. It's totally at your discretion. Let's see here. Do some little triangles or tents.
Little tents.
Little tents, little triangles. All right. And I have to get my brain away from making the pattern all patterny, you know,
Yes,
and methodical. Like make the tents facing different directions. Don't make them all the exact same size or all in a line in a
right.
row.
And that's where using the oil pastels is great, because you have to relax. You can't get too detailed with this.
You
It
can't.
just won't let you. And then when you've done enough with the oil pastels that you want, get out the crayons, pick out the same family of colors. So I did the blues and the teals and the green. I'm going to go for the same.
Actually, I might have some crayons that I used for resist over here. Let me see if I can get to them.
And don't use water-soluble crayons because it will dissolve when you put the...
I know they're just some cheap brand. They're not nice Crayola ones, but if I've got the... Let me just make sure they're not water-soluble. Some cheap crayons, they'll work.
And with the crayons, because they tend to be sharpened, I'm a big Crayola fan. I use a lot of Crayola products because
I need to get a Crayola crayons.
Yes, the Crayola products that are marketed towards kids are really very good. And I have heard artist upon artist say the very same thing. And don't buy the Crayola markers geared towards adults, because they are bad. They're horrible. But
so these don't even have a brand on them. They don't say if they're water soluble. I'm going to assume that they're not, that they're just very waxy because they're just some cheap brand.
Right. Go for it.
So, okay.
I do have a lot of Crayola products that I use.
Now, Carrie, tell them why we're using both the crayons and the oil pastels.
They act a little differently.
Why would we use more than
the
one?
crayons allow you to get a finer design. You have a little bit more control because the crayons are typically sharpened, and it allows you a smaller surface line to work with. And they do act differently with watercolors.
Okay. So when we put the watercolor over them, we're going to get a different look.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, even putting it down, I can tell that it's different.
Yes.
It's very waxy, but the oil pastel is much softer and
very creamy.
Creamier. Yep. Okay.
Remember to leave some spaces open for the last part of it.
Okay. So y'all remember that 2026 is the year of curious play. And I know y'all have lots and lots of supplies sitting in your art room, your craft room, on your shelves that you have not used, as do I. And this year we are taking time and specific care to get them down and use them, to get curious with them. I've got a lot of things that I've wanted to play with that I haven't taken the time to. I'm not familiar with them. I don't know, what they're like. Oil pastels is one of them. So we're gonna play with them. We're gonna get curious, see what things we'll do, what can we do with them, try multiple things with all the things. So come along with us this year on this ride and try some new things. We like the curiosity factor, not the expectation factor. We are all about let's just see what will happen if. That's when the fun stuff actually usually happens, is what will happen if.
Right. Yeah. That happens to me all the time. I wanted a new art journal, but I wanted it to be very specific.
Okay.
And I didn't want to have to pay $50 for it. And I have plenty of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of cardboard and all the pretty things that junk journalers use. So I made myself my own
Nice. Look at that.
art journal.
Wow.
It's made with mixed media paper.
Okay.
And I wanted it to lay flat. So I did a technique
Cool.
that we use to make our pages lay flat, those of us in the junk journal world.
Mm-hmm.
And so I combined junk journaling with art journaling and made my own little art book.
Did you just grab a cover that you'd been saving to use for something?
No, I made it with cardboard.
Made the cover? Awesome. You know what's coming. They're going to go, Carrie, show us how you made your art journal.
Well, I can do that. I love making journals.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm doing with this one is I made the circles, but instead of coloring in the circles, I'm coloring in the background.
Ah.
And I'm not trying to get it perfect either. I'm not trying to get a solid.
I'm trying to do swirls on this one. Okay. Maybe I'll do one more section. Let's see. Crayon. I'm only doing 2 of the playing sessions where I made the variety of cards to draw from. Right. Yes, Melanie. That is the art journaling with prompts. We made the prompts, and so far we've done 2 art journal pages where we use the prompts. So we're going to do that at least monthly. I think you might be thinking the same as me, that I want to do it more frequently. And of course, you can do it on your own. You don't have to wait, for us to do it as a group. But if we've only got 4 weeks in the month to do Monday jump starts, there's so many other things that we want to do. But I do want to do that frequently. And so we may end up with more lives this year during the week that aren't specific Monday jump starts, where, say we're going to, Carrie and I are going to pull out a supply, whatever it is, and we're going to play with it and get curious and see what it'll do, what'll happen. We'll just do a live where you can hang out with us, grab it, and play along with us.
Most definitely. That sounds fun.
Thank you, Becky. Got you in the drawing for the super chat for the prize pack. Thank you.
Oh, we got some competition today. Oh my goodness.
I know. Melanie, did you ever get a chance to do last week's page? I know that you weren't here. You had to miss last week. Did you get a chance to do that journal page? I haven't been in the group for a few days because I've, surgery, but anxious to see your page if you did, or did I already see it? Phew, yeah, my mind is not quite exactly where it normally is with drugs, surgery drugs. So.
Okay, when you're ready to watercolor, you want your watercolors fairly watered down.
Okay.
You don't want them really saturated and heavy with color, because if you do it straight from the palette or from the tube, then they will actually cover up the crayon and the marker.
So you're saying we want it to be thinner with water, yes, so that you can see through it. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Right. And do different colors. Don't match your colors. So here I'm doing blue over this seafoam green color.
Coloring in was not the best choice for me, so I'm just trying to hurry and get the hey. Oh, Carrie's in again, second time. She's giving y'all a run for your money. Thank you, Carrie. Not yet, but you have it planned. Awesome. I will look forward to seeing it. I love seeing those art journal pages. To me, that is so much fun. We're all using the same prompts, yet 10 of us can do it, and they'll be 10 completely different things. Everybody's is always just takes a completely different turn, and I love that.
So what we're doing here is you're going to paint in every space.
Okay.
And you can use different colors from your palette of colors that you chose. So if you're doing analogous colors, keep to the same color family that you used or whatever palette you used.
All right, so I sprayed my watercolors. I'm going to get my brush wet too. Oh, now I get to choose what colors to use. And I want to make sure they stay pretty watered down. You can always add more color, but it's harder to take it off. So some watered down color give us better results.
And the plain circles can definitely be a stronger color. Have more watercolor.
The ones that we didn't do wax in, you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Right. The undecorated.
Okay. Okay.
Spaces. Words are hard today.
I know. It's okay. It's Monday. That's why we like Monday. No expectations. Okay. Well, that looks cool. I can see how keeping it much lighter, thinner watercolor, so it's not so saturated in color, is going to make a difference there.
It allows for the resist to really show up.
Yeah.
And don't worry if you go outside your circle, if that's what shape you chose, because we're going to cut it out.
Oh, no big deal. There's always a solution. I love it. Maybe that's a little more color than I want because I can't really see through it as much. So I'm going to mop a little bit of it up.
Add some water to it and
there we go.
Easily fixed.
Cool. Some more water. Reaching the water is a little difficult, but I can do that with my left hand.
Mm-hmm. Having to learn to use your non-dominant hand while the dominant hand is in a sling and unusable is a challenge. I just had my shoulder surgery this past summer.
You've just been through this.
So I remember quite well.
Actually, I mean, in many ways, I don't mind it because it is good. It forces me to use my non-dominant hand, which I like. In other ways, it's just frustrating because I can't do normal things. So you get a combination of both.
You're like, oh, ow, I can't do that with that hand.
Right? Doesn't go that way. Oh, that's cool. It does kind of resist off of the wax differently.
It does. It resists differently from the oil pastel than it does from the crayon.
Yeah. And I see that it's even starting to change as it dries.
Yes. And I don't know if Sylvia's put this in the chat, but once you use a paintbrush for this process, mark it or save it somehow, because as Sylvia has let us know that the oil pastel and crayon never quite come out of the brush bristles.
Okay. I've learned recently, I've taken some paintbrushes and designated them for acrylic paints, others for watercolor paints, others for mediums like gesso, and put them in containers, and I've marked the containers.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah. Acrylic paints don't come out the same as watercolors do, and you don't want to be doing watercolor and be smearing acrylic paint all over.
True.
Not fun. Also makes it easier to clean up when, you know, it's always the same kind of media in it.
Yes. So it's just fun to see how a darker color goes over some of these.
Yeah.
Or a more saturated color. Might work, might not.
I'm going to put more saturated color in my empty spaces, the ones I didn't crayon in.
Yes.
Which also gives you a lot of contrast of color overall. This is interesting. You know, I mean, this is great for our brains, and it's a good relaxation tool, but also while you're doing it, there's experimentation here. And I'm going, okay, so I see how oil pastels react or respond, or I see what, you know, I could do or couldn't do, or that kind of thing. So it's in everything that you do, get curious about, you know, what if I changed it up a little bit this way or that way, or how would it be different? That's what art is all about. There's no right or wrong in art. So, you know, I remember the feeling of, well, I need to do it right. What's the right way? How do you know, there isn't a right way. I mean, granted, if you're trying to follow a specific or, you know, create a specific outcome, then there might be, you know, a formula to follow for that. But don't get too hung up on your art being right or wrong. As we know, art is all in the eye of the beholder. You can take some very famous artists and look at their things, and there's some of them that, quite frankly, I'm not really interested in. They just don't do it for me, and other people love them. So it's you know, it's what interests you, feels good to you, feels right to you, whatever you want to try. There will always be somebody who loves your art, and there will always be somebody who doesn't. So don't ever worry about trying to make art for, you know, that the world will love, because there will always be those who are interested in it and those who aren't. Doesn't matter. We do art for us, right?
Unless you're well on your way to becoming a professional artist, art is just for fun. It's play.
Yeah. That's interesting. Art is banana taped to a canvas, right? Yes. Yes.
Banana?
Can be. Absolutely. Yeah, you know, and it takes a while to let go of that art is this or art is that or perfection, and realize that art is whatever you, the artist, choose it to be. And if you're doing something, you are an artist. You know, if you're creating something, you are a creator, you are an artist. So don't get hung up on the term artist either, but just do it for the fun of it. Do it for the pure joy for you. Do it because the process is fun and interesting. You enjoy it, not worried about the outcome or anybody ever else loving it or liking it or caring at all.
Yeah, take all expectation out of it.
Yeah. And if you just tell yourself, when I finish this, I don't even have to show anybody. That helps take the pressure off of this or anything that you do that's creative. If you don't have the pressure of having to show anybody, then you're not worried about what somebody else will think. And as soon as we get worried about what somebody else will think and we start trying to make it in a way that they will like, if it's not a commission piece,
right?
They didn't hire you to make something.
It's not your art anymore.
Right. You're trying to make something you think they will like. You've lost that in that moment, you've lost the joy of the artistry because now you're trying to create for someone else. There's artists that do stuff that I'm like, to me, it was just a big mess. I'm not interested in it. I'm not attracted to it at all, but I admire the process. I admire how they can just, get in there, let it go and not even care and just freely let out whatever it is that they're feeling, thinking.
Learn from Frozen, let it go.
Yeah, there you go. And neurographic art is one of those things that helps us learn to let it go because it is difficult. It is difficult. You start doing something and you get hung up, you get frozen. But neurographic art, it's a process. Just go through the process and it helps you get beyond that. Maker is great. Maker, creator, maker, artist, crafter, they're all creatives. I like to think of myself just as a creative. Because of what? It all depends on the day.
Right. And art is creating is a necessity for me. It's not just something I do when I'm bored or just something to do for fun. If I'm not creating at least weekly, I get very depressed and I get very grumpy. People don't want to be around me because I'm argumentative. And I realize it's just because I haven't done anything creative lately.
Creative outlet.
All I have to do is, get out a simple booklet, do some neurographic lines and color them in. That's mindless. I don't have to think about it. And it satisfies that need.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to turn my heat gun on. So I'm going to mute myself.
I think it'll mute you. Go ahead and turn it on and see.
Okay. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We get a couple of seconds of it and then it might just mute it. Yep, it's gone.
Did it mute me?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, you get a couple seconds of it and then it just mutes it. So not a big deal. Maybe I need some more purple over here.
So for this next part, you do want it fairly dry.
Okay.
You're going to be going over it again with more crayons.
Okay. I'm still coloring in. I'm a little slow. That's okay. It just had one color bleed into another color, and I love it. I love that. I got to remember, I don't even know for sure what color that is, but I love that look. So that's one of those happy accidents. Slap some color on you. That's not that song. No, that is true. On high pain days, when I can't sit at my desk or table and create, I will sit in bed and color or draw. Exactly. I think that what Carrie said is probably true for most people, and many people don't even realize that, how important it is to create, or have never had that experience, and so don't realize if they did create, how it would help the things that they struggle with. Yeah.
Okay, so for this part, and this is the finishing touches other than maybe fixing some lines and cutting it out, you go back over into the spaces where it's just watercolor.
Okay.
And you doodle some more.
Oh, on top of the watercolor? Okay.
Yes, and you get a different look.
Okay. With one of the two wax things that we just used?
Yeah, either. Okay. Yeah. And this type of art causes me to go very silent because I really just get into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that tells you it's doing what it needs to do for your brain.
Mm-hmm. So by doing this, you can see how the different media works on top of your watercolor, and it will work better if it's really, really dry.
Uh-huh.
But
good point.
And I'm going to go in with some silver because it just struck me that that might be fun. And if you're doing a warm palette, you might want to use gold.
That's a good idea. I do have some metallic watercolors sitting here I could have used.
Right, you can use those.
But I don't know if they're as see-through, as translucent as these would be. Maybe if they're watered down.
Yeah, if they're watered down enough, they might be. And if you're out there and you're going, oh, that would be fun, but I don't have any watercolors and I don't really want to go buy any watercolors. The cheap $5 or under Crayola or Prang watercolors are really good. They come in a little set. You open them, and that's what I did with this one. Used my Prang watercolors that I've had since I was in high school. And with this one, I used a palette that I have. This time I'm using some liquid watercolors that I purchased at a garage sale. I bought a whole set for $5.
Nice.
And they're probably worth several hundred.
Right.
And they look like this. They're very old, but they are still working.
Garage sales are a great place to pick up old art supplies that never die.
Right.
Estate sales. And again, if you're not interested in painting, you don't have to use watercolors or acrylics to do this. You can do it with colored pencils. We've done it on a live many times with colored pencils or colored markers.
Yeah, this technique won't work with colored pencils, of course, but if you have acrylic paints, water them down really well.
That works too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't have the patience to color a coloring book anymore. Or a coloring book for Glenn is bilingual. You speak Canadian and English? That's funny. Crayola Kids watercolors are one of my favorites. You can create so many colors with those basic primaries and they have a good coverage. Oh, cool.
Yes.
They're actually crayons.
Crayola products
Mm-hmm.
aimed for kids are very good quality.
That's cool. Mine is pretty saturated with water, so it might take it a bit to dry.
Right. So I tried to get crayon to show up in this dark green area, and it wouldn't really. So I'm going over it with the oil pastel.
So I do have a few my blank spaces that I did with darker watercolor paint, so they may not show very well. Or maybe with a yellow or a white might get a little, or a silver, like you did, might get a little bit of a glisten.
Right. Or you probably might want to use your oil pastels for those.
Yeah, okay.
And at this point, you can leave some circles open just with watercolor, or you can doodle in all of them.
Okay. Well, I can tell which pastels or crayons actually worked better than others,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as they're drying and you can see or not see. I enjoy doing this with markers, just sitting down with markers and doing the neurographic lines, the black lines all over the paper, rounding them off and just grabbing different colors of markers and coloring them in.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can take anywhere, and you can do it anywhere, sitting on the couch, watching TV with the grandkids, whatever, and not have to worry about paints and water and puddles or spilling or anything like that.
Oh, did you know you can watercolor with water-based markers?
Oh, yeah. Tell them about that.
You take the marker, the colors that you want to use, and get like a plastic bag, a palette, or something with a non-porous surface on it.
A ceramic plate or a glass.
Yeah, and you just color some of the marker out like I'm doing here with this crayon. Take your paintbrush, wet your paintbrush, and liquefy that marker and go ahead and paint with it. Works great.
It does. I didn't even think about that. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if there's the silver. There is a silver in here. Let's see if silver will work on this dark blue over here. And kind of looks like a world, I think. Didn't intend.
Yeah, that is the neat thing about using the blues and greens.
Yeah.
It looks like a planet.
Oh, the silver is nice, or gray, whatever it is. It's nice on the dark blue.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if white will show up on the dark ones. Oh, it does.
Experimentation.
Good.
Ooh, yellow on the dark blue is cool. All right.
Oh, wow.
It's even something we've done dozens of times. You can still experiment with it. I mean, what if? Oh, I found a gold one too.
Right? What if you choose one color family for your drawing part and your doodling part, and then you go over it with, say you start with a cool color family, go over it with a warm color family, what would that look like? Would you like it, or
I did it cool, and then I just did gold over it, so that's warm over the
nice.
cool. But I like it, so
there you go.
You could finish this up, turn around, sit down, and do a whole nother one, even using different media, and it would turn out absolutely different. And we can do the exact same thing, and look how different they are. It's like using the prompts. We use the same prompts, but yet we could end up with completely different things.
Right.
I like that. This one looks kind of neon. Let's see what happens with that one.
Oh, neon crayons would be fun.
Oh. Cool hearts in the middle of that one. I like the crayon over the top.
That's fun, isn't it?
Very different look, yeah. And of course, don't forget to post your creations when you finish them in the Facebook group. We keep it a private group so that it's a safe place to post, so we can share with each other and inspire. You know, it doesn't even matter what it is. You post something you've done. I find it inspiring. So I really want to encourage you to post whatever it is you're working on. You know, whether it's neurographic art, whether you're crocheting or knitting or cooking or taking photos or creating an album or making an art journal, drawing prompts and doing an art journal page, making some ephemera, whatever it is, post it in there because it's inspiring to others to see your ideas and your creativity. That turned out really cool.
Yeah, they're fun.
I like your yellow dots against the blue or green, whichever that is. Hard to tell on camera, but
over here?
Yeah.
That was the one where I colored, or I drew the circle and then colored in the background.
Okay.
Green, and then I went over it with yellow watercolor.
And that turned out really cool. Then you can take them outside with your kids and throw them around like frisbees. You know, you can cut it out like that. You can leave it in your art journal. You could, you can do these anywhere. Do them in a sketchbook.
Right. Glue them in a junk journal.
Here's a much darker one that I did, and it has, it's not one color palette or other. It's just a whole bunch of colors of the palette. But it's interesting. I look at it, and there's some things that I like better than I forgot about doing the flowers. I like the daisy-like flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I like when colors resist like this, and you get the dots, and then just kind of splotchy.
Well, that's very fun.
And
I like all the colors you used.
Yeah, some colors actually resist better than others, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really liking these dots here, so I'm going to turn them into flowers. Make a circle book, Margie says. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a cool cover for a circle book. Okay, if you are interested in the super chat, getting in the drawing for the prize pack, you have about 2 minutes to get that in. I have Margie, Sylvia, Juliet, Carrie, Becky, and Carrie a second time in the drawing. And I will start to get the wheel of names going because it'll take me an extra minute to do. So I'm going to get that started here. You got it, Margie. All right, let's see here. Doing the cursor and typing with my left hand.
Oh, I learned how to use the mouse totally with my left hand.
Oh.
And I still am doing that with my
and
left
now you
hand.
do that ongoing. Wow.
So I can definitely use
cool.
the mouse on either side.
That's cool. All right, Sylvia, Juliet, Carrie, Becky, and Carrie. And let me know if anybody else pops in there before I finish this. Copy. All right, we'll get everybody in the drawing 1, 2, 3, 4 times. There we go.
Got me twice.
I've got you twice, so that means you're in 8 times. Everybody in 4 times. Carrie's in twice, so she's in 8 times. You get in once for every super chat. So if you choose to do more than one super chat, you get you another entry. And then I copy and paste so that you get on the wheel multiple times. All right, I am going to share my screen. Actually, I tried this the other day doing picture in picture and it worked, but now I have to remember how to do that. So I'm just going to do the share of the screen. There we go. There is our wheel of names.
Very cool.
And I'll watch YouTube. You got to watch YouTube so we won't see it before they do. I don't know how big the delay is, how long the delay is, but my YouTube hasn't even, there it goes. It is a little slow, really slow.
I'm not looking. I'm not
looking. There it is. Woohoo! Congratulations, Becky. Awesome.
You're gonna love it.
Becky, you are today's winner. Congratulations and thank you for your support, for your super chat support. So, Becky, if you send $11.20 by PayPal, or if you want to do it through super chat here, some people are doing that. It doesn't matter either way. That covers the shipping, and the prize pack will get sent out to you later this week. Awesome. I think that's Becky's first win. That's awesome. Congratulations, Becky.
Congratulations.
Hey, Becky is a master card maker and also a beautiful painter. I'm watching, Becky. I'm waiting for you to put some of your pictures of your cards and your paintings in the group. Love to see them. Would love to see them. I've seen some of them. I know everybody else would love to see them as well. Okay, so thank you, Carrie, so much for guiding us in neurographic painting today. Again,
welcome.
please take pictures of your neurographic painting. Don't think it's not as good as Carrie's, so I'm not going to do it. Every one of them is different. Just even looking at the 2 or 3 that Carrie's done, they're all different. I look at the 2 that I've done, and they're very different from each other. It's different every single time I do it. So none is better than the other. They're just all different. Take pictures, put them in the group. They're inspiring to everybody, and you'll motivate somebody else to give it a try. And it's good. It's good psychologically. It's good relaxation. It's like a meditation. It's an art, meditative art practice is basically what it is. So keep an eye out for other things coming up. I am doing my best to heal as fast as possible so we can get back in the swing of things. Go behave. Let your shoulder rest now. I will. I am going to go rest now. And yes, go back to more planning. I've been watching lots of videos, making lots of notes, and doing lots of planning for things that we want to make. So I'm excited to get back in the swing. I am feeling pretty good, and I am obeying orders because I do have another surgery coming up later this month. So I'm obeying and laying low and letting my body rest and heal. Me being bossy, which I appreciate. My big sister Margie keeping me in line. Get out of my head, Margie. All right. Thanks so much for being here with us today. We do appreciate it. And as always, until next time, stay curious.